Oh, I need last week's video too.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't. Okay, I will do both those tonight for you.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yep.
Lovell, thank you for the session again, as always. Enjoyed it. Want to talk about a few of the things that we did today. One, congrats on the new wedge. I think that was very successful. Once we kind of remind you a little bit of this left hand is really important for you in your wedges, right? It's really your right also that has an influence on that, but I think the left is the best way to kind of get at the problem. You know, you really like to, at the bottom, scoop with that right hand, try and add some loft to the club. I think part of that probably developed from you having not anything more than that pitching wedge, right? And you knew you needed to get the ball up sometimes. Now, having a club that has all that nice loft, just remind yourself to keep this left wrist in a pretty similar condition for these little small shots, right? So it's gonna stay there. We can brush that grass, keep it swinging through. We're not trying to throw and release, feel like that wrist is gonna flip and release here. Nice, solid, stable contact there. That left wrist is gonna stay nice and flat to here, and we hit some great shots there with some good release. So that was very good. Honestly, probably the best, most consistent 8-iron stretch that I've seen of you, right? You hit, I don't know, 1.5 out of 7 or something, kind of pretty near to that green. So I think that was all really good. I think you're getting much more comfortable generally self-calibrating that bottom piece, right? We know the low point control is always going to be still a thing to work on, but you're starting to understand, oh, a little thin, a little fat, but those margins are much thinner, right? It would be, I'll hit a ball thin, but one that still runs out, or I'll hit it a little bit fat, so it's a few yards short. It's not, man, I dribbled it 5 yards, right? Now the hybrid was still a little bit of a challenge for you. I think just as the club got longer and you're trying to hit a little harder, that introduced a couple things for you. I think probably pulled a little bit too hard on some of those. I think you were gripping some of those a little bit too hard. And we did try and teach you how to kind of get that club to bottom out a little bit further forward. I think that's worth revisiting. I think we should still work on that. Didn't own it yet today, but we got other sessions of work continued on that. It's just the idea that if it is a little bit too much kind of hands and arms, that club does tend to bottom out here. If we really start feeling that that chest is continuing to kind of move through that ball, we can get that club to bottom out there. Now, in truth, we actually can use our hands and arms and get the club to bottom out further forward, but it's not as powerful, right? So we'll kind of blend that in here for a second. And then I thought you hit the driver really well, right? We just always do have to remind ourselves when we grab that driver, we're using not just those hands and arms, we're engaging our core and our body turning back and behind and through. You're doing a much better job of kind of finishing through those shots now. So I think overall really positive stuff. So thanks, man. Enjoyed it. Yeah, sorry about that. I will upload both